That makes a lot of sense from the governor, who in a weird way has the benefit of knowing when a major hurricane is heading and perhaps at what exact time it's going to hit the state and how to prepare. Contrast that with Appalachia, which had no idea what it was in for with Helene, and where people are still reeling and in some cases missing by the tens and even hundreds.
Well, the forecast for the Appalachians was extreme rainfall, and FEMA was working with those states. I think that's just one of the things we're really having a hard time communicating is when we have these extreme events where people haven't experienced this in their lifetime, and trying to get them to understand that. So there's a lot of work we need to do about tying these extreme weather forecasts so that people understand the impacts. And if you talk to local officials, they said, yeah, we knew it was going to be bad, but we didn't know it was going to be this bad.
What could they have done to better prepare for heavy, heavy rain? And is there anything in retrospect that FEMA could have done or should do next time to help them better prepare?
Well, as Governor DeSantis says, the role of FEMA is supporting the governors. And this is a question, not a reflection of what happened in Helene, but really when we see these extreme rainfall events, historically, we haven't done a lot pre-event to evacuate. In many cases, we just don't even have the information. And I think there's tools that can be used. I think the National Weather Service is working on a water model and trying to go and show people what the potential impacts. Because I think if emergency managers can get information that says this is the kind of impacts you're looking at, it puts them in a better position to either evacuate key areas or get prepared for the response they're going to need.
So in the case of what's going on in the Carolinas, in North Carolina in particular, are you aware of any reports that FEMA is usurping what local organizations are trying to do to help find people, help open roads, help get supplies where they're needed?
The only people talking about that are people that are talking about themselves and trying to get more clicks. I've watched this kind of this phenomenon of these social influencers and these disaster, quote unquote, volunteers who it's all about them. FEMA doesn't do any of that stuff, never has and will not. And again, a lot of this response, I think we use FEMA as a verb. These are local and state officials that drive this response, just like Governor DeSantis is talking about in Florida. And FEMA is supporting the governor. So again, I kind of take all that and go, that's noise. We really need to focus on the people who lost family, lost their homes, and lost their businesses, and get them the help, because we're getting to the point where we really need to start thinking about the recovery and what people are going to need to get through the next weeks to months to rebuilding their lives.
Right, and I know I'm dwelling a lot on Helene, which was the storm that preceded Milton, but in many ways, Helene is the humanitarian catastrophe, at least based on what we know this morning.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're talking about Helene, because there's a real problem in the national media that you go from the crisis to the crisis. And, we still have an ongoing crisis in the Appalachian from Helene. And that's not going to get done overnight. And so while, there's a lot of tension on Milton and that response, I think you got to remember that there are a lot of disasters that may not always be in the national media. But it doesn't mean that states and local officials aren't dealing with it. It doesn't mean that FEMA isn't there supporting them.
So it's also my understanding that FEMA has run out of, Politico's reporting, it's run out of half of its budget in the first 8 days of its fiscal year or something to that effect. Has FEMA money been spent appropriately this year? Is enough left to support Appalachia in particular through its crisis, and also to help Florida to the extent that is needed?
Yeah, FEMA manages their budget. And when they do start seeing that those funding levels, and this isn't a disaster relief fund. This is a separate appropriation that Congress passes for disaster response, can't be used for anything else. And as those funds come down, FEMA will start slowing down spending on permanent work from older disasters to make sure they have funding available for this initial response. And as that continues, there will be a request, and it won't just be FEMA. It's going to be HUD. It's going to be Army Corps of Engineers. It's going to be USDA for a variety of federal programs that are going to be needed, not only from these disasters, but from past disasters. So right now, FEMA's got the money to do the initial response. But when it comes to long-term rebuilding after these disasters, Congress is going to have to appropriate more funds, more of your tax dollars for this rebuilding.
Right, no, and that's what's leading to a lot of concern of how to get those funds out quickly, especially in a time like this.